On the second night of Pesach, we're introduced to a mitzvah of Sefiras Ha. And the question that is often asked is that we have to understand, we've just come out of Mitzrayim, we've just had a Seder night, at least one, we're free people, we've shown our chayras by leaning, by drinking wine. It's kavaldik, we're free people. What's this new mitzvah, Sefiras Ha? What do we need this mitzvah to count Sefiras Ha? Of course, the Torah tells us, Shabbos, that's Poshet Pshat. But obviously it goes a little bit deeper than just a pasuk in the Torah. What's the actual essence? What's the meaning? And what's the yesod for us? And I think there's a gavaldige yesod that we can get out for our own lives, for this man, and in particular for life. Klal Yisrael left Mitzrayim. They were free people. After hundreds of years of back-breaking labor, of difficulty, tsar, of pain, they were able to go free and they tasted that freedom. But there's something more than that. To be free is not a means of an end. To be free is just the first stage. After you're free, you have to know what you're going to do with it. And therefore the Torah says, immediately, right after, we need to count Sefiras Ha because we are counting towards something. What are we counting towards? We're counting towards Kabbalah Torah. We're counting towards the Yom Tov of Shavuos. And therefore, immediately, after we're free, forget, that's the right time. At the time where Klal Yisrael felt that freedom, immediately, start counting. Start doing something. Start counting towards a goal. Freedom is not the end. Freedom is just a way of enabling yourself to be able to do what needs to be done. Now do it. You know, the Chedush Harim, the Heilige Ger Rebbe, asks a very famous question. And it's a question that I'm sure we've heard over the years, and it's probably an answer we've also heard over the years. But like the Mesilas Yesharim says in the Akdama, we have to keep continuing to repeat the same things again and again. Zuk the Chedush Harim Amoyudik Akasha. Why are we counting day number one, day number one? Why don't we count day 49 and go down? You know, lahavdil, elef alfei avdolis. NASA, when they're counting towards the rocket launching, it goes 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom! And then it works. Well, let's take another example. Take a fresh chassan. He just became a chassan. It's kavaldik. The simcha he has is moyedik. Beautiful. What does he do? He gets a present from the kala. What's the present? The present is a brand new clock. That's a very special clock. You type into the clock when the chasana is, the date of the chasana, and the exact time of the chuppah, and it will tell you how many days, how many hours, how many minutes, and how many seconds until you will be standing under that chuppah. It's amazing. You count down towards it. Or let's take a bacha. Bein Hazmanim is coming up. How many days until Bein Hazmanim? When can I leave? When's it over? Right? We're counting down the days. You ever saw a guy coming into yeshiva saying, okay, today is the first day of the Zman, tomorrow is the second day. What are you counting towards? You're counting to Bein Hazmanim. No, if you count to something, you count down to something. The Chedush Harim, why are we counting 1, 2, 3, 4 in that way, as opposed to counting, there's 49 days till Kabbalah Torah. There's 48 days till Kabbalah Torah. There's 2 days till Kabbalah Torah. What's Pshat? Chedushim says, and he says, you have to understand, many people think that Sefiras Ha is a countdown to Shavuos. It's a countdown to Kabbalah Torah. If it was, then we would go 48, 47, 46, 45. We'd go that way. Why? Because we're counting towards that. So the Chedush Harim, that Sefiras Ha is not that. Sefiras Ha is a count that every single day is a day of its own and can be counted on its own for spiritual growth. Leading, yes, to Kabbalah Torah. Yes, leading to Yom Tov of Shavuos, because we have to prepare ourselves, because we have to get there. And the way to do that is by counting each day as its own day, as opposed to count down towards something. And that's why we count each day as its own day, because today is the day number 1. Today is day number 2 of what? Of an opportunity. It's an opportunity. You know, Klal Yisrael came out of Mitzrayim. They were kemat holding on the lowest madrega of tumah existing. They were almost at the point of no return. Within 7 weeks, they became almost Nevi'im. They heard Kaviyachov on the Rabbeinu Shalom, Anoichi Hashem. How do you do that? In 7 weeks. How in this is a lifetimes of work. You go from the lowest all the way to the high. How do you do that? The answer, say the Sorim HaKadoshim, is very simple. That there's a special siyata d'shmaya at the time between Pesach and Shavuos, that a person can grow, that a person can reach heights that other times of the year would be manageable, attainable, but much harder. When it comes to this time of the year, there's a tremendous siyata d'shmaya. Like what happened over there, it's what happens now. In fact, the Ramchal in Derech Hashem brings that. It wasn't just there. It's every single generation. And every year we have the same siyata d'shmaya. And we have to understand that, we have to realize that Klal Yisrael left as a nation broken, on a low level. And within 7 weeks, they had become people that were almost Nevi'im, Kaviyachol, almost seeing the Rabbeinu Shalom Kaviyachol. And that means every single one of us could basically do that and could use our time and do something. In the Kriyas HaTorah of Pesach, we read Vayikach Moshe's Atzmois Yosef. How Moshe Rabbeinu himself went to go and get the bones of Yosef when everyone in Klal Yisrael were busy collecting the treasures from the Egyptians. Moshe Rabbeinu was wise and he went to do the mitzvahs. He went to go and collect the bones. Says Chazal in Mishlei Perik Yud Posuk Ches, Chacham Leiv Yikach Mitzvahs. Zuk Chazal, it's referring to Moshe Rabbeinu and Klal Yisrael were busy collecting their money. What was Moshe Rabbeinu doing? Collecting the mitzvahs, doing something that he was meant to do. And what do Chazal call him? Chacham Leiv. Because it's a wise person that knows how to take advantage of the moment. It's a wise person that knows how to utilize the time in the way that he's meant to do. Tell you a Motika Maisa. This Maisa is with Reb Chaim Levine, Rosh Yeshiva of Telz. And he says over the story about his last encounter with his Rebbe. His Rebbe, Rebbe Meir Bloch, the Rosh Yeshiva of Telz, was in hospital. He was about to leave the world. And this was his Rebbe that he had been with and learned everything from. He meant the world to him. And he was standing by his bedside as he was about to leave the world. And he hears that his Rebbe is whispering something. So he puts his ear to the mouth. He wants to hear, what's his Rebbe saying? In those last few moments, what's his Rebbe saying at this moment of time? What's on his Rebbe's mind? And he hears the following words. Ashvera mishpat. Ashvera mishpat. It's a harsh judgment. He didn't understand. This was a Yid that had so much simcha in his life. He was always besimcha. He was always with so much happiness. And he didn't have an easy life. He had a really hard life. He had lost a wife and 4 children, Rahman Litzlan, in the Holocaust. And he wrote Chidushei Torah at the time, and he wrote on his Chidushim, you should excuse me and be moichel me, and don't think I'm doing something terrible by writing Chidushim at this terrible time, but it's the only way of me continuing to live. And he had so much simcha, and throughout his hard life, his Talmidim never heard one word of complaint, one word of anything that was negative. And all of a sudden now, after his incredible life, what he accomplished, it's a shvera mishpat. And he managed to say, Rebbe, what's going on? What do you mean, shvera mishpat? What's so bad? And the Rebbe said, I'll tell you. Rebbe managed to tell him over. He said, I'll tell you, that my whole life I was busy. I was busy with the yeshiva. I was busy with the Talmidim. I was busy teaching Torah. I was busy learning Torah. I was busy. I was doing something. I'm in a hospital bed. There's nothing I can do. I can't teach. I can barely learn. I can't do anything. That's a shvera mishpat. When you can't do anything, that's difficult. Because if a person understands and appreciates every moment that he has in this earth, and he knows that he can use it for something, then if he cannot do it, he realizes that loss. You know, this week, we lost a giant. We lost an absolute giant. I'm not qualified to speak about him, but just, I cannot not say anything. I have to say something. Just because it hits home at this point. A Yid that built moised after moised after moised. Because he needed it, he didn't need any of that. He did it because he saw the need. He got up and he did something. He took his life and he used it. He used every moment. He was busy. As someone that understands that life can accomplish so much, that can do so much, is incredible. There are so many more people that can do that on our small level. Each and every one of us can build on our personal level. He was a Yid, a giant of a Yid, that was able to build neshamas, that was able to, unbelievable what he accomplished in his small little life of 64 years, was able to accomplish so much. But why? Because he was special, better than any of us? Probably, yeah. But more than that. Because he saw the need and he did it. He took his time, he utilized it, and he was able to build. Rabbi Say, the mitzvah of Sefiras Ha teaches us exactly that. The mitzvah of Sefiras Ha, we know there's a machlokes rishonim. Is it one mitzvah with 49 parts, but it's one? Or is it every day is a separate mitzvah, and you're getting 49 mitzvahs every single day you count? Machlokes rishonim, no real psak. What do? We do both. The point is, we could say that possibly this machlokes rishonim is a big yesod for life. One mitzvah. There's one goal. We need a long-term goal. We need to get there. But there's also separate mitzvahs. Every day is its own personal goal. Every day, every moment, every hour, every second, we can accomplish. Rabbi Say, all of you came to yeshiva. Baruch Hashem. Chazdei Hashem. I thank the Rabbeinu Shalom that you all came back to Eretz Yisrael, to Yerushalayim, and to the yeshiva. It's beautiful. We're here. You're free from all the taivas and yetzaharas and problems over there. You're free. Now you're here. What are you going to do with that freedom? What are you going to do with the time that you have? You've got 10 weeks, Rabbi Say. 10 weeks to use for what? To utilize, to use to the most. Use every moment you have to use for growth, to become a better person. As we saw from the Sfarim, this is the time of growth unmatched to any other time of the year. The growth that we can have at this time is unbelievable. It's special. Rabbi said, let's use every moment we have, and Be'ez Hashem, the Rabbeinu Shalom will give us siyata d'shmaya that will come to Kabbalah HaTorah as a kli kibul, that we're ready to accept the Torah, to keep the Torah, and to live with the Torah. Shkoyach.